The vast emptiness of space stretched before Captain Jun Nakamura as he stood on the bridge of the UES Horizon, humanity's most advanced deep space research vessel. His weathered face reflected in the reinforced viewport, dark eyes scanning the unusual energy readings that had brought them to this remote sector of space. "Captain, we're detecting a quantum band distress signal," Lieutenant Olivia Patel announced from her communication station, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "It's unlike anything in our database." The bridge crew fell silent. After decades of space exploration, humanity had yet to make contact with another sentient species. They'd found ruins, artifacts, and signs of ancient civilizations, but never living aliens. "Source?" Nakamura asked, his voice steady despite the tension building in his chest. "Approximately 3 light minutes out, sir. The signal's degrading, but I'm detecting signs of weapons discharge and multiple vessel signatures." First Contact Chief Protocol Officer Dr. Marcus Wong stepped forward, his tall frame casting a shadow across the tactical display. "Captain, if this is what we think it is, the first contact protocols are clear. We must render assistance if possible." Nakamura nodded. Humanity had prepared for this moment since they first reached the stars. "Tactical analysis, Lieutenant Commander Harrison." Diana Harrison, a former Special Forces operator turned tactical officer, brought up a detailed scan. 3 vessels, sir. 2 appear to be combat-oriented, currently pursuing a third ship that matches the distress signal's origin. The pursued vessel shows significant damage to its propulsion and life support systems. Life signs? Confirmed on all vessels, sir. Completely non-human biosignatures. Nakamura took a deep breath. This wasn't just first contact, it was first contact in the middle of what appeared to be an attack. "Signal the fleet. We're invoking Protocol 7. Within minutes, 5 more human vessels dropped out of hyperspace around the horizon. The contingent included 2 state-of-the-art battlecruisers, the UES Thunder and UES Lightning, whose very existence had been classified until this moment. "All ships reporting ready, Captain," Harrison confirmed. "The Thunder and Lightning are taking forward positions. Open a channel, all frequencies, universal translation protocols engaged." Lieutenant Patel's hands flew across her console. "Channel open, sir. This is Captain Jun Nakamura of the United Earth ship Horizon. We are responding to a distress signal in this sector. To all vessels, cease hostile actions immediately and state your intentions." The response came in a burst of crystalline sounds that the translation matrix took several seconds to process. "Earth vessel, this is Ambassador Zwax of the Nexian Confederation. We are a diplomatic mission under attack by Kryvax Empire forces. Our life support is failing. Please help us." Before Nakamura could respond, another transmission cut through the channel. "Earth vessels, this is War Master Krull of the Kryvax Empire. These criminals violated our sovereign space. Leave now, or face the consequences of interfering in imperial justice." Dr. Wong's analysis came quickly. "Captain, the translation matrix is picking up significant cultural context. The Kryvax Empire appears to be a major power in this sector, known for aggressive expansion and subjugation of other species. The Nexians are a peaceful confederation of worlds focused on diplomacy and cultural exchange." Nakamura's jaw set firmly. The situation was clear, a classic case of imperial bullying, something humanity had long experienced within its own history. "War Master Krull, we are invoking Article 7 of the United Earth Charter of Sentient Rights. We will render assistance to vessels in distress, regardless of political circumstances. Stand down your weapons, or we will be forced to respond." The Kryvax vessels, massive constructs of black metal and pulsing energy weapons, began to move into attack positions. "You dare threaten the Empire? Your species is unknown to us. You have no standing here." Lieutenant Harrison, tactical analysis of Kryvak's weapon systems? Their technology is advanced, sir, but their weapon signatures suggest they're using conventional energy-based systems. Our quantum-shifted shields should hold. Nakamura smiled grimly. Humanity had developed its military technology in secret, preparing for exactly this kind of situation. All ships, defensive formation Delta. Deploy quantum shields. Show them why Earth developed its fleet in secret. The human vessels moved with precision, their formations creating overlapping fields of protection around the damaged Nexian ship. The Kryvak's vessels fired, their energy weapons striking the quantum shields with tremendous force, only to be absorbed and redirected harmlessly into subspace. Impossible. War Master Krull's voice betrayed his shock. No species has such defensive capabilities. War Master, this is your final warning. Stand down, or we will demonstrate that our offensive capabilities match our defenses. The Kryvak's vessels held position for a long moment before slowly backing away. This isn't over, Earth Captain. The Empire will remember this interference. As will the Nexian Confederation, Ambassador ZYX's weaker voice came through. You have saved not just our lives, but perhaps the future of peaceful cooperation in this sector. As medical and engineering teams began rescue operations for the Nexian vessel, Nakamura turned to his crew. Send word to Earth Command. Tell them humanity just joined the galactic community. And we did it by standing up for what's right. Dr. Wong nodded approvingly. A historic moment, Captain. Though I suspect it's just the beginning. Indeed, Nakamura agreed, watching as the massive Kryvak's ships retreated into the darkness of space. Something tells me we've just changed the balance of power in this sector of space. Let's hope we're ready for what comes next. The relative peace following the Kryvak's retreat lasted exactly 6 hours. Captain Nakamura was reviewing the initial diplomatic exchanges with Ambassador ZYX when Lieutenant Patel's voice cut through the calm of the bridge. Multiple hyperspace signatures detected. Massive energy readings. Captain, it's an entire Kryvak's battle fleet. The tactical display lit up with dozens of hostile signatures. The Kryvak's had returned, and they'd brought overwhelming force. 17 capital ships emerged from hyperspace, their black hulls absorbing the distant starlight like cosmic predators. They're not alone, Lieutenant Commander Harrison reported grimly. Detecting smaller attack craft. Hundreds of them. This isn't a show of force, it's an invasion fleet. A transmission cut through all channels. Earth vessels, this is High Admiral Vexthor of the Kryvak's Empire's first strike fleet. Your interference in imperial matters ends today. Surrender the Nexian criminals and prepare to be boarded. Your technology will serve the Empire. Dr. Wong's analysis was quick and concerned. Captain, the cultural context is clear. The Kryvak's don't just want revenge, they want our quantum shield technology. They mean to take it by force. Nakamura stood from his command chair, his decision already made. Signal Earth Command. Priority Alpha. Request immediate reinforcement under Protocol Omega. He turned to his crew. The Kryvak's want to see what humanity is capable of? Let's show them. Sir, Harrison interjected, even with our technological advantage, we're outnumbered almost 3-1. Numbers aren't everything, Commander. Deploy the ghost systems. The crew's eyes widened. The gravitational holographic optical stealth technology was humanity's most closely guarded secret, a system that could bend both light and gravity to create perfect duplicates of ships that were indistinguishable from real ones. Within moments, the space around the human fleet shimmered as dozens of perfect duplicates materialized. To the Kryvak sensors, it would appear that humanity had doubled its fleet strength instantly. Interesting trick, High Admiral Vexthor's voice carried a note of uncertainty. But holograms cannot fight. Nakamura smiled. Who said anything about holograms? All ships, combat formation echo. Initiate Thunderbolt Protocol. The human fleet split into 3 groups, their ghost duplicates moving in perfect synchronization. The Kryvax fleet launched their first volley, massive energy weapons cutting through space, only to pass harmlessly through some ships while others absorbed the attacks with their quantum shields. They can't tell which ships are real, Harrison reported with satisfaction. Their targeting systems are confused. The human counterattack was devastating. The UES Thunder and Lightning unleashed their main weapons, concentrated beams of quantum-shifted energy that bypass traditional shields completely. 3 Kryvax capital ships were crippled in the first exchange. But the Kryvax adapted quickly. Their smaller craft began suicide runs, trying to physically impact the human vessels to identify the real ones. The space around the fleets became a chaos of energy weapons, explosions, and debris. Multiple Kryvax boarding attempts detected on Deck 7 through 12, the ship's AI reported. Security teams responding. Lieutenant Patel's voice cut through the battle chatter. Captain. I'm detecting new hyperspace signatures. It's the Nexians. They've brought reinforcements. A new voice joined the command channel. Earth vessels, this is Fleet Commander Zyra of the Nexian Defense Force. The Confederation stands with those who stood for us. Formation data transmitting now. Dozens of sleek, crystalline ships emerged from hyperspace, their organic designs a stark contrast to both human and Kryvax vessels. They moved with incredible grace, their weapon systems unlike anything either humanity or the Kryvax had seen before. All ships, coordinate with Nexian forces, Nakamura ordered. Lieutenant Harrison, share targeting data. Let's show the galaxy what cooperation between species can achieve. The battle that followed would be remembered for centuries. Human quantum technology combined with Nexian crystal tech created devastating attack patterns. The Ghost systems confused Kryvax targeting while Nexian ships executed impossible maneuvers through the chaos. High Admiral Vexthor's voice returned, this time with clear desperation. This is impossible. No coalition of species has ever withstood the first strike fleet. Perhaps, Nakamura responded calmly, it's time for the Empire to learn new ways. Stand down your forces, Admiral. End this before more lives are lost. The battle raged for another hour before the Kryvax fleet finally began to retreat. Of their 17 capital ships, 7 had been destroyed, 5 critically damaged, and the rest had suffered significant harm. The human Nexian coalition had lost only 2 ships, with several others damaged but reparable. As the last Kryvax ships disappeared into hyperspace, Dr. Wong approached Nakamura. Captain, this victory will reshape galactic politics. The Kryvax Empire's reputation for invincibility is shattered. And humanity's reputation is just beginning, Fleet Commander Zyra added through the comm, the Nexian Confederation formally requests an alliance with Earth. Together, we can ensure peace in this sector, and perhaps beyond. Nakamura looked out at the battlefield, where human and Nexian ships were already coordinating rescue operations for damaged vessels, including Kryvax ships that had been left behind. Commander Zyra, I believe this is just the beginning of a long and productive friendship between our peoples. He turned to his crew. Send word to Earth Command. The galaxy is about to change, and humanity will help shape that change. As the adrenaline of battle faded, the crew of the Horizon began to realize the full implications of what had just occurred. Humanity hadn't just won a battle, they'd helped establish a new balance of power in the galaxy. And they'd done it not through conquest or intimidation, but by standing up for what was right and forming alliances based on mutual respect and cooperation. The real work, they all knew, was just beginning. The diplomatic chamber aboard the UES Horizon hummed with activity as representatives from a dozen species gathered in the wake of the Kryvax defeat. Captain Nakamura stood at the head of the crystalline table, a gift from the Nexians, observing the diverse gathering of alien dignitaries. To his right, Fleet Commander Zyra's crystalline form shimmered with internal light, her multifaceted eyes taking in the assembled group. To his left, Dr. Wong catalogued each species' subtle reactions and interactions, his trained eye catching details that could make or break potential alliances. "The Kryvax will return," rumbled Trade Minister Kalex of the Volari merchant worlds, his scaled skin shifting colors with emotion. "They've never accepted defeat. Even now, they gather their forces from across their territory." Lieutenant Commander Harrison's tactical display confirmed this assessment. "Intelligence from our long-range probes shows massive fleet movements throughout Kryvax space. They're mobilizing everything they have." A new voice joined the discussion, Ambassador Thex of the Meridian Collective, her holographic form flickering with neural patterns. "For centuries, we watched the Kryvax expand, too afraid to stand against them alone. But together, with Earth's quantum technology and the Nexian crystal tech, we can end their tyranny," finished General Rax of the Centauri Free Systems, his metallic exoskeleton gleaming under the chamber's lights. "My people have suffered under Kryvax raids for generations. We bring 300 warships to this alliance." Lieutenant Patel's voice came through Nakamura's neural link. "Captain, receiving priority transmission from Earth Command. The Security Council has approved the formation of the Galactic Defense Coalition. We have full authority to proceed." Nakamura nodded, addressing the gathered representatives. "Earth stands ready to formalize this alliance. But we must be clear, our goal isn't the destruction of the Kryvax Empire. We seek to end their aggression and establish a lasting peace." The chamber erupted in discussion, but a sharp chime cut through the noise. All eyes turned to a previously empty section of the table, where a new hologram materialized. The figure that appeared caused several representatives to rise in shock. "Overseer Vul," Dr. Wong whispered to Nakamura. "A Kryvax resistance leader. The Empire has had a bounty on their head for decades." The Kryvax resistance leader's scarred face surveyed the chamber. "I speak for those within the Empire who have long opposed the Military Council's endless expansion. There are many of us, scientists, philosophers, common citizens, who wish for change." This revelation sent a ripple through the gathering. Internal resistance within the Kryvax Empire could change everything. "The Military Council fears what this alliance represents," Vul continued. "Not just defeat in battle, but the proof that cooperation between species creates greater strength and conquest. I offer our network support, intelligence, sabotage, and popular uprising when the time comes." Fleet Commander Zyra's crystalline form pulsed with decisive energy. "The Nexian Confederation votes to accept all assembled parties into the coalition. Unity is our strength." One by one, the representatives voiced their support. Each brought unique capabilities. Volari merchant ships could transport supplies through secret trade routes. Meridian quantum computers could coordinate fleet movements across vast distances. Centauri warriors knew Kryvax tactics intimately. And the Kryvax resistance could provide crucial intelligence from within. As the alliance took shape, Lieutenant Commander Harrison received an urgent alert. "Captain, long-range sensors detect massive hyperspace disturbances. The Kryvax fleet, they're not just gathering. They're moving. Multiple invasion corridors." Nakamura's expression hardened. "They mean to crush this alliance before it can fully form." "How long?" "At current speeds, they'll reach coalition space in 72 hours. The chamber fell silent as the tactical display showed the approaching Kryvax armada, thousands of ships moving in attack formations. Ambassador Thexa's hologram flickered with determination. "The Meridian Collective has already begun upgrading coalition ships with our targeting systems. Combined with Earth's quantum shields and Nexian crystal tech, we can match their numbers." "Numbers aren't enough," General Rax interjected. "We need a plan that ends this decisively. The Kryvax must be shown that the age of empire is over." Dr. Wong stepped forward. "Captain, I believe I have an idea. The Kryvax Military Council maintains control through a quantum entanglement network, it's how they coordinate their vast forces. If we could access that network, we could shut down their entire command structure, Overseer Vull finished, mandibles clicking with excitement. My resistance cells have been trying to breach it for years. With coalition technology. Nakamura surveyed the chamber, seeing hope and determination in faces both alien and familiar. Then we have our mission. We have 72 hours to prepare the largest coordinated fleet action in galactic history, while simultaneously launching the most ambitious cyber warfare operation ever attempted. He turned to Lieutenant Patel. Signal all coalition forces. Priority Alpha. Tell them the galaxy changes today. As the representatives rushed to mobilize their forces, Dr. Wong approached Nakamura. You realize, Captain, that we're witnessing something unprecedented. Species that have been enemies for centuries, now working together. Yes, Nakamura smiled, watching the tactical display as friendly signatures began moving to defensive positions. And if we survive the next 72 hours, we'll show the galaxy what unity can truly achieve. The battle for the future of the galaxy was about to begin, and humanity had helped light the spark of revolution that would change everything. 72 hours had passed like a blur of tactical meetings, fleet movements, and desperate preparation. Now Captain Nakamura stood on the bridge of the UES horizon, watching as the largest fleet battle in galactic history was about to begin. Coalition forces in position, Lieutenant Commander Harrison reported, her hands moving across the tactical display where thousands of Allied ships had formed a multi-layered defense grid. Meridian targeting systems integrated. Nexian crystal tech resonance at optimal levels. Kryvax fleet emerging from hyperspace, Lieutenant Patel announced, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. Initial count, 3,000 capital ships. Support craft numbers still climbing. The void bloomed with light as the Kryvax armada arrived, their black ships seeming to drink in the starlight. At their center, a massive vessel unlike anything they'd seen before emerged, the Dominion, personal flagship of Grand Admiral Skarvex, supreme commander of all Kryvax forces. All ships, battle formation Delta, Nakamura ordered. Begin Ghost Protocol deployment. Lieutenant Patel, open a channel to all coalition forces. He took a deep breath, knowing his next words would be heard by every ship in the Allied fleet. This is Captain Nakamura. Today we face an empire that believes in dominance through force. They expect us to break, to scatter, to submit. Instead, we will show them the power of unity. Every species here has something unique to contribute. Together, we are stronger than any empire. Stand fast. Stand together. Stand for freedom. The Kryvax struck first, their weapons turning space itself into a canvas of destruction. But the coalition defense held. Human quantum shields merged with Nexian crystal barriers created an almost impenetrable defense, while Meridian targeting systems allowed for precision counterstrikes. Volari merchant ships in position, Trade Minister Kalex reported through the command channel. Beginning Phase 1. Hundreds of Volari ships, previously thought to be simple cargo vessels, activated hidden weapon systems. They struck from behind the Kryvax lines, throwing their formation into chaos. Phase 2, General Rax's metallic voice announced. Centauri strike teams launching. Small, agile Centauri vessels slipped through the chaos, their crews specially trained for boarding actions. They targeted key Kryvax command ships, disrupting coordination between fleet elements. But the Kryvax adapted quickly. Grand Admiral Skarvex's voice boomed across all frequencies. Your tricks cannot save you. The Empire has stood for 10,000 years. We will not fall to this collection of lesser species. The Dominion's main weapon charged, a planet killer capable of destroying entire worlds. But this was the moment they had waited for. Now, Overseer Vull. Nakamura commanded. Deep within Kryvax territory, resistance cells activated. They had spent the last 72 hours planting quantum-encrypted viruses throughout the Empire's command network. At Vol's signal, they struck. The effect was immediate. Kryvak's ships began losing power, their quantum entanglement network collapsing as the virus spread. But it wasn't complete victory. Nearly half their fleet remained under direct control from the Dominion. "Captain," Dr. Wong called out, "the Dominion's quantum isolation protocols are too strong. We can't breach them remotely." Nakamura nodded grimly. "Then we do this the hard way. All ships, implement Operation Sunbreak." The Coalition fleet moved as one. Human ships projected ghost duplicates to confuse Kryvak's targeting. Nexian vessels created crystal matrices that bent weapon fire away from vital areas. Meridian computers calculated impossible attack vectors. Centauri warriors struck at weak points identified by Volari scouts. The Dominion's defenses were formidable, but they had never faced such perfectly coordinated attacks from so many different technologies and tactical doctrines working in concert. "Hull breach detected on the Dominion," Harrison reported. "Their quantum core is destabilizing." Grand Admiral Skarvex's final transmission was cut short as secondary explosions began cascading through his flagship. The mighty vessel, symbol of Kryvak's power for centuries, began breaking apart. "All ships, cease fire," Nakamura ordered. "Prepare rescue operations. We're here to end tyranny, not commit genocide." Coalition vessels moved quickly to rescue escape pods and crew from damaged ships. The remaining Kryvak's vessels, seeing their leadership destroyed and their command network in ruins, began powering down weapons. A new transmission cut through the aftermath of battle. "This is Council Speaker Thex Ra of the Kryvak's Empire. In light of recent events, we wish to discuss terms of surrender and reformation." The bridge crew of the Horizon erupted in cheers, quickly echoed across the Coalition fleet. But Nakamura raised his hand for silence. "This isn't just victory," he said quietly. "This is responsibility. We've proven that different species working together are stronger than any empire. Now we have to prove we can build a lasting peace." Dr. Wong smiled. "The real challenge begins. Helping the Kryvak's transition from an empire to a member of the galactic community won't be easy." "No," Nakamura agreed, watching as rescue operations continued across the battlefield. "But if we maintain the spirit of cooperation that brought us this victory, anything is possible." Across the Coalition fleet, ships of all designs and origins worked together to save lives, even those who had been enemies moments before. It was, Nakamura realized, the perfect symbol of what they had fought for, a galaxy where strength came from unity, not dominance. 3 months after the Battle of Coalition Victory, as it was now being called, the Great Hall of the newly established Galactic Concordat bustled with activity. The massive chamber, constructed in record time through the combined efforts of all member species, reflected the diversity of its creators. Nexian crystals provided natural light, Meridian technology enabled instant translation, and human quantum engineering ensured perfect environmental conditions for all species present. Captain Nakamura, recently promoted to Admiral, stood at the observation deck alongside Dr. Wong, watching representatives from over 30 species discuss the framework of their new interstellar alliance. Hard to believe, Nakamura mused, that just 3 months ago, many of these species had never spoken to each other, let alone work together. Dr. Wong nodded, making notes on his datapad. The speed of change has been remarkable. The Kryvak's reformation is proceeding far better than anyone expected. Below them, former Overseer Vol, now First Speaker of the reformed Kryvak's Republic, was deep in discussion with Trade Minister Kalex about converting former military shipyards into civilian manufacturing centers. Nearby, Fleet Commander Zyra and General Rax coordinated plans for a joint defense force that would protect all Concordat space. Lieutenant Patel approached, her uniform now bearing the insignia of the Concordat fleet. "Admiral, we're receiving the final reports from the frontier regions. The last holdout Kryvax military commanders have surrendered to coalition forces. The war is officially over. Not just the war, Lieutenant Commander Harrison added, joining them with a tactical update. The entire old order. The latest surveys show over 40 new species applying for Concordat membership. They see what we've built here, strength through unity rather than dominance. The chamber's attention turned to the central podium, where Ambassador Thexa's holographic form appeared. Distinguished representatives, we have confirmed reports from the Deep Space Exploration Fleet. The combined scientific expedition has discovered 3 new potentially spacefaring civilizations in the Outer Rim. Thanks to our new protocols, first contact will be handled by a diverse team representing all member species. Nakamura smiled at that. Humanity's experience with their own first contact had shaped the Concordat's approach. Every new species would be welcomed with respect and offered protection while they developed their own interstellar capabilities. Admiral, a new voice called. Council Speaker Thexare of the reformed Kryvax approached, his once militant bearing now softened by months of diplomatic work. The Military Conversion Committee has finished its report. 90% of our former attack fleet has been successfully repurposed for exploration, research, and humanitarian missions. That's excellent news, Speaker, Nakamura replied. How are your people adapting to the changes? Better than I'd hoped. The younger generation especially has embraced the new opportunities. We were warriors for so long, we forgot how to be anything else. Now, our scientists work alongside Meridian researchers, our artists learn from Nexian crystal shapers, our merchants trade with Volari ships. We are becoming more. A sudden excitement rippled through the chamber. The massive visual display activated, showing a live feed from the Deep Space Expedition. A new species had been contacted, crystalline beings who traveled through space using solar winds. Their first words to the Concordat delegation: we have watched, and we approve. We wish to learn and share. Dr. Wong's eyes sparkled with academic excitement. Their technology appears to be completely different from anything we've seen. Imagine what we could learn from each other. That's what the Concordat is all about, Nakamura said. Every species brings something unique. Together, we're discovering that the galaxy is far more diverse and wonderful than any of us imagined. Fleet Commander Zyra approached, her crystalline form glowing with purpose. Admiral, the combined fleet is ready for its first official mission. 1,000 ships, crew from every member species, heading out to explore the unknown regions. Humanity's dream of peaceful exploration has become everyone's dream. As if to emphasize her words, the chamber's great window offered a view of the massive combined fleet in orbit. Ships of every size and design moved in perfect harmony, former Kryvax warships now painted in peaceful colors, Nexian crystal ships, human quantum vessels, Volari traders, Centauri defenders, and dozens more. Each unique, each valuable, all working together. You know, Harrison mused, watching the fleet, when we first responded to that distress signal, we had no idea we'd end up changing the entire galaxy. That's the thing about doing what's right, Nakamura replied. You never know how far the ripples will spread. We stood up for someone in need, and it inspired others to stand up too. Now look at us, building something that will last for generations. The chamber fell quiet as a new ship appeared in orbit, the largest vessel ever constructed, built through the combined efforts of all Concordat species. Its name, displayed in all member languages, translated to Unity's Dawn. It would serve as both the Concordat's mobile headquarters and a symbol of what diverse species could achieve together. The age of empires is over, Dr. Wong said softly. The age of cooperation has begun. Admiral Nakamura looked out at the assembled species, former enemies now friends, old rivals now partners, all working together to build something greater than themselves. No, he corrected with a smile. It's more than that. The age of possibilities has begun. And as the great ships of the combined fleet prepared for their journey into the unknown, each crew member, whether human, Nexian, Kryvax, or any other species, knew they were part of something unprecedented in galactic history. Not an empire, not a conquest, but a true fellowship of equals, bound together by shared dreams of a better future for all.